Welcome to the galaxy's hottest debate. Is zero cycling in Honkai Star Rail a true test of skill or just fancy keyboard acrobatics? Yo. Okay, I know that a lot of people are not talking about it now. There's no drama about zero cycling. But I was just like thinking about it, and there's two opinions about it, and especially two extreme opinions. Like, zero cycling isn't just a strategy, it's an art, and only the chosen people can do it. And then we have people that say that this is basically a waste of time, it is bad, it doesn't make you better at the game, with different perspectives. And that's why we have to say this. There is different perspectives to this, and some people cannot think and see the other perspective. They only think with one perspective, because here's the truth. Zero cycling difficulty is inversely proportional to your credit card limit. Okay, you want effortless cycles? Swipe for Acheron. If you want to top up in Honkai Star Rail or any gacha game, LD Shop is the great place. LD Shop is made by the same people who made the LD Player emulator. All you need is your server and game ID, and it's safe and reliable. And all of that is for cheaper prices. So all you have to do is put your UID, put your server, choose your bundle, and as you see, I got it. And for currently newly registered users, they will all get 5% off, 2% off, and full discount coupons, and people who register using my link will receive another 5% off, which can save you a maximum of $50. Also, there's a new thing where you spend over $80 in a single month and you will gain VIP, and VIPs have 3 benefits: a free supply pass, weekly coupons, and monthly coupons. And there's also the lucky spin event where you can win another free supply pass. Make sure to click on the link in the description to visit LD Shop now. Okay, so zero cycling will depend on your characters anyway, but let us talk about free-to-play zero cycles or only Eidolon 1 at max for zero cyclers. I think that is where you should have a conversation, because if there is a whale that has like C6 characters and talking about how he can zero cycle with characters, that's so weird. Like, if your characters are C6, I do not think that actually matters. But we have to establish that zero cycling matters in non-whale accounts, and of course preferably free-to-plays or very low spenders. So for example, my account, every single character in my account is at A0. Of course, at least the limited characters, I might be lucky with the standard ones, but basically every single limited character that I have is at A0, and I have so many characters, okay? So I think my account is a perfect example for, can you beat the game? Can you zero cycle with this account? And now here where it actually takes skill. But here's the thing. The definition of skill between some people is different. Some people think that skill, at least in video games, goes with the things that you can do physically, like aiming in Valorant, or your combos that you do in League of Legends, where you space, where you position in the game. All of that doesn't exist in Honkai Star Rail. So if the definition of skill is that physical thing with your, reaction time and things like that, that doesn't exist. And this is the not true definition, but the way you can express your skill most of the time in these games or in sports, so people can have this perspective. But the way you express skill in Honkai Star Rail is how you can manipulate your characters or your stats and rotations to make it work. So the fun of zero cycling doesn't start when you're playing. No, it starts when you are making the character, because it's like you're creating actually a piece of art. You're creating something new. You're not going with the same stats, you're changing it up. You try to go from this piece to the other just for this extra 2 speed, for example. Then when you get to the game and you try to zero cycle, you have to understand the right lineup, and then you actually will have to understand the right rotation, and that's the fun. That's where it's fun, because yes, it takes skill. You have to try and try again and try again and try again, and it will be so fun. And then when you find the right formula, for example, maybe I have to save the Acheron ult now and wait for it for next, and this changes literally everything. So every single thing or act that you do when you're zero cycling matters. But now, is this actually that hard anyway, Well, depending on the floors, it is not that hard, okay? Most of the time, it does take skill. You have to build and, think about it. But in my opinion, most people can do it if they give it the time, and it's not actually hard. But in some situations, especially when we're talking about a free-to-play account, yes, it can be very, very challenging and it can take skill, but the thing is, the more challenging it is, the more fun. I am with zero cycling on this one. Zero cycling is way more fun than just clearing the forgotten holes just like that. But there is the last point where people can say, okay, I think Dectone said that before, where it is a waste of time. Now here's my take on that. I think that if people want the 60 jades from the forgotten hole, zero cycling is just a waste of time. It is just a waste of time because you're basically getting the same thing but just taking more time, you know? But that's not actually the point of zero cycling. People who are zero cycling or like zero cycling are not playing the forgotten hole for the reward, or at least the reward in forgotten hole isn't the 60 jades. It's actually getting the zero cycle. That's your reward. Because I think a lot of people change perspectives with games. Like, you have to play the game. Gacha games, you know, kind of changed our minds with auto and only thinking about rewards, but I think the fun is in playing the game. That's why I think zero cycling is so good. It's so fun, and it's not a waste of time if you're expressing your skill and trying to, you know, clear it in hard mode, let's say. Now, of course, there's the argument that yes, it is a waste of time anyway, you're playing a video game, but the definition of waste of time will change because yes, in your day you have to waste time, you have to have fun. It's the time where you have fun. So I think that's the point here. So with different perspectives, you can see that it can be right in the same time. Like, it can be a waste of time for some people, but it can be the right thing to do for some others. And I can confirm that you can zero cycle as a free to play. Sometimes I couldn't, but it might be a skill issue. So yes, it is a little skill based. Is it that hard? No. Do you have to brag about it the whole day and say that, oh my god, if you don't zero cycle, you're just stupid? No, because a lot of people actually do not care. Zero cycling is not the main thing in HSR, or maybe it is getting a little popular because people are now finally trying to have fun actually with the gameplay and not just with the rewards. And yeah, that was basically my rant. I just wanted to give my opinion. If you don't subscribe now, you're gonna lose your 50-50. Bye bye.